Serena Williams' first match on tour in the month of March. Last played in Dubai, where she lost to sister Venus in a third set tiebreak. And I'm trying to put a pretty quick end to the first set against Alexa Glatch.
Love.
And she looks solid today. Sometimes first match back, she can be a little rusty, Serena, but she hasn't been challenged all that much. Ball's just kind of sitting there for her, but she looks very focused so far.
Glatch for service.
Do you think her #1 position and reestablished carries to Paris this year? She did win it, obviously, in 2002. Will the players look at the draw and all say, "Well, I don't want to be anywhere near Serena"?
I think it's a little different on the red clay. It's much more of an issue on the hard courts. I think Venus carries that title at Wimbledon. Serena obviously dangerous at Wimbledon, but I think a little bit less afraid of Serena on the clay. But obviously proven she can win there.
Love.
Be interesting to see how Serena does approach the entire clay court season. How many tournaments she'll play and lead up to the French. How much time she'll spend in Europe.
Game and percent.
So not much
Williams,
difficulty for Serena. 27 minutes to get through the first set. 6-2 over Alexa Glatch. Welcome back. We'll check in on other action going on our first day of coverage from the Sony Ericcson Open. Set of the grandstand as we come back into the stadium now, where Serena's in danger of holding.
Be the first hold of this second set. Serena wins this next point.
Game Williams.
Williams leads. Unbelievable stat in the second set. Now it's only 3 service games, Lindsay, but Serena Williams has only won 1 of 7 points on her first serve. That's hard to fathom.
You don't see that often. Alexa Glatch does a nice job of using her hands and getting the serve back into play, and a lot of times that's half the battle against Serena. And as we talked about, sometimes it's better to play her in the earlier round. She's not quite as fine-tuned in her game.
Of course, Venus and Serena didn't play the BNP Paribas Open, and they have such an amazing ability, and it shows how talented they are, that they can work themselves into tournaments, unlike most of their peers.
Is that a real thing? Lindsay, could you do that? Could you play your way into an event?
Not necessarily. I played well from the first ball, and I knew it going through. Occasionally you have that bad match where things will get better inevitably, but these two will have kind of some weird first round losses if you look back on their records. It's not often, but they will. But so often Serena's challenged earlier in the tournament, and by the end of the tournament she's cruising through, and you see that at the Australian Open almost year after year.
Love 30.
Serena's absolutely decimated her opponents there in the finals. Maria Sharapova one year, Dinara Safina this year, barely losing games.
It really seems like she hones in late stages of events.
She also knows when to raise her game to the level of her opponent. She might try a few things earlier in the tournament against opponents she doesn't feel threatened by, but when it's game time and she's ready to go.
Again, a rarity. Glatch has just had her second serve hammered. And finally, when she's won 4 of 21 points, you see Serena's history, winning her 4th Australian this year. She's so strong. It's odd, Lindsay, that, and you know this well, to add more at Wimbledon, she's going to have to go through her sister. That's the one place where Venus has the edge.
Looking at Glatch, Lindsay, what do you think her long-range potential is?
Top 40, top 30. She hasn't developed the big weapon yet for me to say she's a top 10 player, a top 20 player. She's very consistent. She's very athletic. Still developing her first serve. To me, the biggest thing she needs to work on is being inside that court and developing a big ground stroke. Kind of massages the ball back into play, and you don't see too many of those players at the top of the women's game anymore.
Game.
Now she survived the second serve there. Glatch holds.